Derek Carr finally responded to the media, well, Dan Orlovsky, just yesterday in his press conference when asked about what he thought of what the former quarterback had to say about him. And this is what he had to say.
I don't think Dan is a malicious type. He never has been. From the times I've ever talked to him, he was a super great guy. So I got no problem with Dan. At the end of the day, I'm going to listen to Josh in my progressions and what he's telling me in the game, and we're trying to set things up to get the ball a certain place and all that kind of stuff. And it takes repetition. It takes time. We're only 3 games in to us playing together again. And it hasn't been all bad.
What?
Now, I know that there was a lot of people in my comments saying in my last video that, Derek Carr is just trying to do what Josh McDaniel is telling him to do, to go through his reads and whatnot. But there was also another report that I seen on Twitter where they were saying that basically Davante Adams is Derek Carr's first or second read on most of those plays. And the fact that he's still not getting it out to Davante Adams is kind of crazy to me. But I know he brought up a lot of good points, and I know he's not really frustrated or mad at all at Dan for the comments that he made, because he knows that he's coming from a good place. And I also understand that coming into the season, Derek Carr, even Davante Adams said before the season even started that, when you go from one Hall of Famer to another, it does take some time sometimes to gel. But these are two guys that we had a lot of expectations for, especially this year, because they were two guys that played with each other and has been practicing with each other over numerous off seasons. So that's why we had a lot of expectations for these two guys. Now, I do have to agree with Derek Carr in the fact that he said, he's not purposely not trying to throw it to Davante Adams. He's just trying to go through his reads.
For me to not want to throw it to him or anything like that, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I get what Dan's trying to say. Everyone wants to see Davante get all the yards and all the catches, but if you flip him in max numbers, no one says anything. Talked about this before the season, that there's going to be some times where that happens, and we're going to be talking about, well, where's this guy's targets? And then where's Darren's targets? Where's this? And we knew this was coming. I tried to warn everybody, but I knew that this would come.
See, I don't think the main thing is about, Davante not getting all his targets, though. It really doesn't matter who got the most targets during the game. We don't really care about, Darren Waller didn't get enough catches, Davante didn't get enough catches. But the fact that, in this last game, Dan pointed out the fact that Davante Adams was open on multiple occasions and Derek Carr did not look at him or did not even throw it to him. We could have had a lot of big plays downfield. We could have possibly even had a touchdown. But the simple fact that Derek Carr did not find him downfield or did not even look for him, it was a bit questioning. But as the quarterback of the team, as the leader of this team, being the quarterback for the Raiders for the past 9 years, he's been here longer than Josh McDaniels. I still feel like there is some freedom there for him to go and look around. There's no reason why he should purposely throw it to his first read or throw the ball away. If the first read's not there, move on to the next guy. If it's not there, move on to the next guy. If not, then run, don't fumble the ball. You know what I mean? But who knows? At the end of the day, I'm still a fan, and I'm just seeing what I see on the field, and I'm going to call it out when I see it. But one real great point that Derek Carr did bring up in his press conference was the fact that if we're winning games out there, nobody's really talking about all the things that went wrong, because that's actually true.
But that's football, man, and I take responsibility for that, man. We haven't won. That solves everything, as you know. When we went on our run last year, a lot of things got overlooked because we were winning. But at the end of the day, it's all about winning, and we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we stay focused on that.
You look at the first week against the Chargers, we were coming back in that game. If we win that game and come out of LA with a W, nobody's really talking about the 3 interceptions that Derek Carr had. They will just say, he has to do better the next week moving forward. And then you look at week 2 against the Arizona Cardinals, even though we blew a 20-point lead, if we win that game in overtime, nobody's talking about that comeback. Yeah, we'd be a little bit worried, but it's not that big of a deal. Then you look at this past week against the Tennessee Titans and Tennessee. If we come back, force the game into overtime, and we win that game, nobody's talking about how many times Davante Adams was targeted or how many times, Darren Waller dropped the ball, or even Derek Carr missing his open receivers downfield. Because at the end of the day, all that really matters is W's. And that's the reason why fans like me are so frustrated, because there's so many games that we almost came back in, or we almost won, but we didn't. That's the reason why I'm so critical about this offense so much. Even though the defense, yes, in the first half and a couple of drives, they do give up big plays, they do give up touchdowns. But at the end of the day, like I said, when we need them to make a play to at least give the offense a chance to go out there and win, they do that, and the offense just throws up a dud, and we end up not winning the game. For example, let's talk about all 3 weeks. First week against the LA Chargers, we were coming back in that game. We needed the defense to make a play. Nate Hobbs made a huge stop, forcing the Chargers to punt the ball back off to us. The offense has a chance to go down the field, and what happens? We don't get the touchdown, the game is over. Then we move on to week 2 against the Arizona Cardinals. We need our defense to step up. Even though they've been giving up touchdowns throughout the whole second half of the game, they were tired for the most part. But in overtime, when we needed them to make a play on 4 downs, they made a play, gave the ball right back to our offense. They were driving down the field. Now, at the end of the day, you know, it was Hunter Renfro's fault for fumbling the ball away, but that's that. And then against the Tennessee Titans, we needed defense to come through and give the ball right back to Derek Carr and this offense, and they did that. And the offense, for the most part, went down the field, made some plays, got a touchdown, and missed on a 2-point conversion. So that's why I'm not so critical of the defense, more as the offense, because the offense is the unit that we all expect to go out there to ball out. I mean, we spent a lot of money on them, and we brought in one of the best wide receivers in the league to help this offense out, whether he's a decoy out there or he's a guy that you just throw the ball up and say, fuck it, Devontae Adams somewhere out there. You know what I mean? Now, I say all this just to say, yes, this team is not perfect. Josh McDaniels is not perfect. Derek Carr is not perfect. The defense is not perfect. But we need to make all those key plays to go out there and win games. Because if you look at these past 3 games, we were just a couple of plays away from winning those games. We could easily be 2-1, 3-0 right now. But we are 0-3, bottom of the AFC West. We do not need to be here. But looking at the bright side, if there's any time we want to throw up a dud or be in the losing column, it will be in the beginning of the season, because we still got a whole season to go. And like I told you guys in my last video and videos before that, it is not over. The season is not over. We got a lot of games to go, and we can still turn this thing around, because, you know, the Raiders can be a team that could definitely stress us out. But if there's one thing I know, is that they will never give up. And Derek Carr, hopefully he could get his shit together and find his receivers. Hopefully these wide receivers could get their shit together, other than Devontae Adams. You know, Hunter Renfro, Darren Waller, you know, Keelan Cole. I mean, Matt Collins. Shout out to Matt Collins. He's a guy that's slowly rising up my board right now and is becoming one of my favorite players on the offensive side of the ball. We know what he has out there, and hopefully Josh McDaniels can figure something out, and hopefully Derek Carr can grow some cojones, you know, to make up his own plays or throw it to who he wants to throw it to. He doesn't need to be a yes man out there to Josh McDaniels. Do what you want to do. You are the veteran here. You are the quarterback. You are the leader to this team. So we expect a lot out of you, Derek Carr. And after a couple of days just cooling down, venting off everything that I had to say, Derek Carr, man, I still got a little bit of faith in you to go out there and win games. He's my quarterback at the end of the day, and hopefully we can figure something out, because Al Davis said it best. Just win, baby. It doesn't matter how we win as long as we get those W's. So let's start with this week to hopefully get into the win column. We got back-to-back AFC West rivals, so these are going to be some huge matchups going into the bye week. I mean, it's not that hard, man. Us Raider fans just want wins. That's all we want. With that said, Raider Nation, from a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you guys about this team? Do you guys feel like we could turn this whole thing around? Do you feel like Derek Carr can be the guy to lead us into the playoffs and lead us to the promised land, even though it's really hard to see right now? I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys do enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if this is the very first time you come across my channel and you love the Las Vegas Raiders, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. We are about 700 subscribers away from 40,000, so hit that subscribe button and help a noose out, you know what I mean? And some good news though, Raider Nation, the blackout party is back. Now, I know that we had this at Virgin Hotel, but you know, they was being hoes over there. Anywho, this week, the blackout party will be at Illuminarium in Las Vegas, right next to Area 15. So if you guys are in the Las Vegas area coming in for the game, or even just living in Vegas and wanting to hang out with the Raider Nation, you know, myself, Raider Cody, Graphic Raider, Kenny King, Gorilla Rilla, and my guy Mike Scott on the 1s and 2s. If you guys are trying to come through and have a great time with the Raider Nation before game day, then come through to Illuminarium. I will put the Eventbrite link down in the description below with all the information for you guys to know. And also, if you guys do want to be a part of the blackout game day party bus, I will put the link down in the description as well. It was definitely a great turnout the first time around. We had a good time in the party bus. So if you guys trying to come through, party with us, going to the games, coming right back to the games, then don't forget to hit that link. With all that being said, until the next video, Raider Nation, this your boy Samoa Raider, and your boy is
Started off in Oakland, now we here. Thought that we was done, we just hit another gear. Look, started off in Oakland, now we here. Hey, pull up with the nation in the silver black gear. Look, 4 games straight, we in the playoff. Shout out to the Chargers fans, y'all enjoy the layoff.